So hi all, welcome to our YouTube channel, and I hope you all are having a great winters. Those who are residing in the north of India and people from across the world. So in the previous videos, we have discussed about series, we have discussed about creation of data frames, converting an array into a data frame, basically a matrix into a data frame. A data is nothing but a collection of matrix, a collection, basically a matrix, a collection of rows and columns. All right, in this video, we will be doing what we will be checking the basics of pandas, or basics of data frames like df.head, df.tail, df.shape, df.info. We'll check these codes and we'll see the understanding of it. So we talked about what we talked about earlier on df.head. Now df.head is what df.head does. Basically reads the top 5 rows of the data frame. All right. So this is what, as you can see, so our data frame that we created in the previous video, all right, that was what? That was basically of 5 rows and 5 columns. All right, let us do what? Let us basically, all right, so it will only do what? It will only read the top 5 rows only. So it is reading what? Reading the entire data set. But even if we have, let's say, lakh rows of data, 1 lakh rows of data, 2 lakh rows of data, a million rows of data, if we write df.head, it will do what? It will basically read the top 5 rows only. All right, to read the bottom, so let us do what? Let us read the bottom 5 rows. To read the bottom 5 rows, the df.tail function is applied to read the bottom 5 rows. So if you have 1,000 rows of data, so it will do what? It will read the bottom 5 rows. Which function? The dot tail function. Right, next we'll check what the shape of the data using df.shape. This left one will tell what? Left one will tell the rows, and the right one from the number from the right side of the comma will tell what? Will tell the columns. All right, so this is what it is. Then we have df.dtypes. Df.dtypes does what? And df.dtypes basically tells what? It basically tells the data types of columns. Zeroth call, float, first call, float, and so on. It tells us the D types of columns. All right. Then we have df.info. All right, df.info does what? Df.info. All right. Df.info basically tells us the row entries first, index 5 entries, 0th row to 4th row. Yes, we have 0th row to 4th row rows. All right, then we have data columns, total 5 columns. All right, which how many? 0th call, first call till 4th call, 5 columns. All right, how many row entries? Non-null counts, we have non-empty values, we have, so we have all the values filled. There are 0 empty values. All right, so it will show us what? It will show us 5 non-null count. D type will be what? D type will be float. As you can see, it also shows us D type, and it shows us what number of columns are float, what number of columns are integer, and what number of columns are object. We will see in the later videos, we will see how to read a data, how to read a lakh rows of data, and apply all these basic EDA functions. All right, to explore data, to extract meaningful insight from the data. So this is what it is. All right, so this is what it is. Next we'll do what? Next we'll basically check about the more very important function that gives us what? The descriptive stats. All right, and the 5 number summary. All right, so this is what? This is your describe function. All right, describe function is what basically gives you the descriptive stats and the 5 number summary. All right, now descriptive stats is your this count, mean, standard deviation. All right, we have a 5 row count, and this is the mean that we've got. All right, this is the standard deviation. All right, this is the minimum value that we've got in zeroth call. This is what, this is 25 percentile. This is the median, 50 percentile, the median. This is 75 percentile, upper quartile. And this is what, this is the max value in the column. We can also cross check it. Just write df of zeroth underscore call. Right, this is how we access a particular column. We have a separate video for accessing of columns and accessing of rows. All right, so dot mean. All right, as you can see, all right, we can cross check it with the help of what, std. All right, standard deviation. All right, you can see it is matching. All right, similarly we have what, we have mean. As you can see, it is matching 0.183, 0.183. Similarly, we can check the min and max as minus 1.07, minus 1.07. Let us check the max, 1.0081, 1.0081, and the median 0.61, 0.61. All right, but we have what, we have describe function that shells out all the descriptor stats and 5 number summary. All right, so coming back to the point, count, mean, standard deviation is what, descriptor stats, and this is what, this is your 5 number summary, the one that is highlighted, that is your min. 25 percentile is your what, lower quartile. 50 percentile is your median. 75 percentile is your what, upper quartile. And max is what, max is your maximum value. All right, so that's all we have in the basic EDA. All right, one more before we move on. Let us check one more, how to check the missing value. All right, is in a df dot is in a dot sum missing value. So there are what, as we saw, 5 non-null, 5 non-null, and the data is also completely filled. Sorry, the data is also completely filled. So you can see that there are 0 missing values. All right, is we will have a separate data pre-processing tutorial. There we will explain it in detail. Df dot is in a what, it is what, it's a function. NA is what, not applicable values, missing values. We can also replace it with is null. All right, the answer, the output will be the same. Dot sum, that is give us the sum of missing values. So there are 0 missing values, so the output will be 0 missing. Per column it will check and give it in the output. All right, so this is what we have in the basic EDA for pandas. All right, very soon we will do what, we will check for EDA using a .csv file. All right, thanks a lot everyone.